Hi guys, glory to Jesus Christ. So I guess we need to talk about Charlie Hebdo again, because I disabled comments on the first video I made, and then somebody sent me a message about it. And actually it was a very lovely message, and it raised some points that I'd like to address in this video. So, you know, when you send me a message, if I respond, I usually choose to respond in a video instead, because that way it can reach more people. So anyway, the issue was concerning the cartoon on the cover of the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo, not the one about the Prophet Muhammad. Actually, I guess they've published two of those now. I'm talking about the one that depicted the Holy Trinity sodomizing each other, which was published the week before the first one of the Prophet Muhammad. Watch the first video in this series if you haven't seen it yet. I don't want to spend too much time recapping. Anyway, so the person who sent me a message is Orthodox and lives in France. So I was particularly interested to hear their respectful disagreement because of that. And they made 3 points, and I'm going to talk about them each. One was that the function of art is to critique societal institutions and point out problems. And satire is a form of art. Second point was that it was not directed, the disrespect, it was not directed at the Trinity, it was directed specifically at the Roman Catholic Church for its various issues. And then the third thing was just that the purpose was to affect social change. Okay. Art. One of the functions of art is undoubtedly to point out problems in society. I don't think you can argue that. That's pretty obvious, right? But just because you draw a cartoon and publish it in a magazine doesn't make it art. Okay? I could draw a smiley face with my own poop, and that would not be art. It would be rancid, vile, and disgusting. And that's exactly what this cover was. Rancid, vile, disgusting. Okay? If the purpose of this satire, and I'm using the quotes here because it's not satire, it's blasphemy, but if the purpose of this cover was really to effect change, they went about it in a really stupid way. See, if you really care about the issues, if you really care about changing society for the better, or for what you feel would be better, you need to make your points in a way that people will understand and accept. You can be screaming and ranting and raving vulgarities all the day long, and it's not going to matter to very many people. You're not going to convince very many people that you know what you're talking about and that they should agree with you. So, for anyone to claim that the purpose of this magazine cover was to somehow provoke the sentiment that the Catholic Church needs reforming, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Next. Okay. It doesn't matter that the satire was directed at the Roman Catholic Church. Doesn't matter. It's the same Holy Trinity. And it is a grave mistake to say, well, I'm not offended because they were critiquing our sister institution over here. No. 1,000 times no. This vulgarity was unnecessary. It was intentionally offensive and done in a way that would provoke a backlash, a pushback, fighting, arguments, rather than actual thought and actual change for the better. So whoever is saying that this cover is satire and has a purpose, you know what I say to that? I really don't care. It's irrelevant. The people who draw these things, the people who publish them, and the people who support them, either actively or by not saying anything and running away with the tail between their legs. It doesn't matter what they say the purpose is. Purpose is irrelevant here. Blasphemy is blasphemy. So don't delude yourself into thinking, oh, well, because this was a societal critique of XYZ, it's fine. It's valid. El wrongo. Doesn't matter what the purpose is. You can justify just about anything in this world if you try hard enough. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's blasphemy, it's wrong. That's the end of the story. Now, you notice, let me be very clear about this. I didn't say it should be illegal. This video duo now on this topic, I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about Christians who preach Christ crucified and resurrected need to open our mouths and say, hey, if you have a problem with the Catholic Church, the Orthodox Church, the Lutheran Church, the Amish, whatever, let's have a respectful dialogue. Not draw a cartoon of the Holy Trinity sodomizing each other. Okay? Disagreement is one thing. It doesn't have to be disrespectful, and it certainly should not be violent. Again, these are things that should be obvious, but I just feel better if I say them. Don't buy into that lie that says that as long as there is some intellectual exercise going on, that blasphemy is all right. It certainly is not. Okay? This is not about turn the other cheek. This is not about if a man, compels you to go 1 mile, go with him too. No, this isn't that. This is putting our words and our reputations and our lives on the line for Christ. And for the holy, consubstantial, life-creating and awesome Trinity. And speaking up and saying, hey, I don't appreciate that. You're being blasphemous. Kind of the same thing that happened to St. Peter in the courtyard, right? And he made bad decisions there. Because at that point, he had not yet received the Holy Spirit, so he didn't quite get it, and he let his cowardice control him. Of course, later, Christ forgave him because he repented. Christ forgave him, founded the church on him, and eventually, of course, St. Peter died a martyr. You and I, most of us anyway, do not live with that kind of day-to-day danger. That speaking up against blasphemy, taking a stand for Christ, could be a death sentence. Now, if you live in the Middle East, yeah, it is. And not just in the Middle East and North Africa, but, right now, there's quite a lot of horrible things going on. So, especially in that light, you and I have no excuse. Avoiding getting upset and avoiding creating a controversy and avoiding not being politically correct for the sake of maybe being a little uncomfortable or maybe having people think we're weird. That's cowardly. There's no other word for it. Read the lives of the martyrs, guys. People who rebuked kings, queens, powerful political officials were killed in horrible ways. And they knew that was going to happen too. But they did it anyway because they loved the praise of God more than the praise of man. And it is absolutely vain and puffed up and egotistical beyond imagination to tell ourselves, to delude ourselves into thinking that, oh, well, because this is an intellectual exercise, God doesn't mind. Are you serious? I reject that categorically. I don't mean any disrespect to anybody. But it really bothers me when people who identify as rightly believing Christians see value in that. When they think it's okay. When they think that, for example, because another Christian confession is having serious, in the case of the Catholic Church, you know, all of these horrible abuse cases are coming to light and the cover-up is coming to light. Just because of that whatever way somebody chooses to comment on that, through words, through printed words, through speech, through art, is okay? No, that's scrabbling at anything that you can to avoid having to take an unpopular stance. Because if you speak up against blasphemy, people are going to think you're nuts. People are going to tell you that you're superstitious, that you're living in the Middle Ages, that you're weak, that you're overly sensitive, that you're arrogant, that you are somehow condemning other people. Either the person that uttered the blasphemy or drew it, whatever, or society at large. They're going to throw every phrase in the book. Judge not, lest ye be judged. This isn't about judging people. Of course not. We cannot judge people. God can judge people. But we can also exercise, and must also exercise, our God-given responsibility to discern the clean from the unclean. The righteous from the wicked. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about acts. I'm talking about art. I'm talking about literature. I'm talking about everyday speech. So, don't be beholden to that. To your desire to not make waves. If you want to be a Christian, you get ready to make some waves. The good news is, no matter how high that tempest gets, Christ still walks on the water. And his hand is out to you and me, just like it was out to St. Peter. So you walk out on that water and take the Lord's hand. And if you suffer any hardship as a consequence of your not being embarrassed of Christ, of your willingness to put your reputation on the line to say, no, that's wicked, you will receive 100-fold. Ultimately, no sacrifice that you or I could make is even approaches the sacrifice on Golgotha. So we need to stop pampering ourselves here and say, I don't care how widespread this blasphemy is. I don't care, how many intellectuals see it as societal critique. I don't care about its self-proclaimed purpose. It's irrelevant. The point is, blasphemy is blasphemy. Something can have a purpose and be wrong. Okay? I could buy an axe to chop off my husband's head. Okay? Yeah, that axe has a purpose, but I'm using it in the wrong way. Time to wake up, guys. We don't have a lot of time left. Life is short. Eternity's long. Time to stand up and fight. Blasphemy, not okay. Be assured of my prayers. Please put me in yours. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.